Today, we're going to be taking a look at 3 pairs of IEMs from Simgot, the King Wonder EN1000s, the EA500s, and then the EM2s. No way I'm going to remember any of those model numbers, hence the reason I got to read them off the box throughout this entire video. So what we're going to do is refer to these IEMs as them, these, and those. And if you're interested in the specs, well, here you go, because you know I'm not going to sit here and bore you about them. I'm going to talk about how they perform while we game. But even other than just the core sound of IEM to IEM here, we're going to have an IEM conversation. That's a whole lot of IEMing. And that's exactly where I want to start with this video before we even dive into these specific IEMs here, is talking about IEMing. And that is as far as what you're buying, right? Because IEMs, the price range really just varies. You got some down into the 50s, kind of like right here, right? 100, 150, 200. I think these are 150. I forget. But anyways, the price just climbs up there. And what are you getting? I mean, over here, I got these Easy IEMs, and these things are up into the $1,000, you know what I mean? So that's really where I want to sit. What I've been noticing with IEMs is you truly get what you pay for. Not just in sound, but as far as build quality, the straight structure of it, the comfort of it even. As well as that, talking about the sound within the IEMs. This goes for any, whether this the cheaper ones or the more expensive ones. The sound is noticeably different. Not saying the expensive ones are better or the cheap ones are bad. That's not what I'm stating here, but you can clearly tell a difference with the IEMs. I mean, these things are shoved into your ears, right down there into your lobes, you know what I mean? So you're truly hearing those differences rather than headphones that they're over here. If they're open back, they're breathing out, you got a lot of your environment. These guys are in your ears, and again, you can truly tell the difference from the sound, whether one has more bass, one has more highs, or vice versa, whatever. Again, that's not judged on price. That's just IEM to IEM, so they're really fun, because again, you got a different experience with each one. Okay, so enough about IEMing. But let's focus more importantly on these, them, and those. I'm sure I got that wrong. So anyways, a lot of you have seen my King Wonder video about these IEMs. I absolutely love them and highly recommend them. They were just on sale for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, so if you caught my video, you could have got them for a good deal. That's a stinker I couldn't get this video out there, but again, I just needed more testing, right? I highly recommend these. The build, the structure. Go watch my standalone video. The sound was exciting and fun on these guys. It's just like, gosh, I can't recommend these enough. They're great. So let's talk about these two over here, right? Let's start with the lower end one. So we're thinking, okay, we got the budget IEM here, right? It's plastic. The wire's a little bit stiffer. I didn't get that experience as I got with these. I'm talking just straight up build and comfort here, right? Not even other than them just being plastic. The thing about them is, so we're thinking about these being plastic. You got your little ear deal that's coming over here, right? So when you put these on, first off, talking comfort, I slide them on right here. The bud part, the IEM over here, is so light that the ear part is almost trying to compensate for that and pull on that, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? This is so tense over time. I might be using these for a while now, right? But again, with that tightness, it felt like it was tugging on the bud right there. That got annoying as far as comfort. Coming in over to these, again, you got the metal, so it kind of just related with that. The bud was able to sit there and actually stay in its position. Again, same with the King Wonders over here. So I really noticed, again, going budget IEMs, how is it going to really go throughout the entire build? Again, your ear hooks, the build of the structure itself. And a lot of those play into each other, as I just stated, with the hook pulling on the bud because the bud was lighter, you know what I mean? So on and so forth. When you go even further, looking down here, it's like even the connections. You have the plastic connection. That's actually on the one in the middle here. The budget one has the metal connection. And that truly just feels different when you're using it. You're plugging it into your device, you're unplugging it, so on and so forth, you know? So again, as far as build, structure, and comfort, you can truly tell a difference within them. And I want you to look at that whenever you're buying your IEMs, you know? And again, same with these Simgots. But more importantly, of course, is the sound difference. And this was shockingly shocking. Talking again about these, the plastic ones, the budget one over here, I just couldn't get what I wanted out of it, right? I kept saying, man, let me get a little more dialogue. And the dialogue was just It was back here, it was by itself, and nothing wanted to help it out. And that was a stinker, especially in the games, because I don't play just first-person shooters, right? I'm playing Teeny Tina's Wonderland. That's his tongue twister right there, right? Anyways, playing that one, and the dialogue was just so absent. It was soft in the background. And then when I got into some action, like, I felt the headphone come alive. Again, I still didn't get the dialogue. That was still back there, you know what I mean? It came alive. But say if I'm playing Call of Duty or Halo, I got some good sound, but I think that was more or less not the IEM, just the fact that I got these speakers jammed in my ears here, you know what I mean? Because I never got anything that said, yo, I want to talk about that, or holy smokes, let me experience that again. I never got anything like that right here. It just did sound, if that makes sense. Let's go on over to here, like the mid-range one, right? So talking about these, it was almost this and the step up. Number one, we already talked about the build, right? The build's better on these. They're metal. They feel a lot better in your ears. They're staying planted. But the sound on these, again, let's talk about me playing Call of Duty or something. It's doing everything right. I'm getting dialogue good. I'm hearing them talking to the speakers and everything like that, you know. But wow, when an action-packed scene came, like the highs, and it just came to life, and it was just like came out of the grave and smacked you in the face. It was like, holy smokes, I got to take these off for a minute because it's just overboard in that one area, which were, I felt like a lot of the highs and everything were just so stinking potent, but it wasn't constant potent. It was occasionally potent, if that makes sense, right? So that's what really threw me off on these and kind of drove me crazy when I was testing them. I'm like almost even when I loaded up a game and you got those intros and they start up loud like that, I always caught myself, all right, let me turn the volume down while I'm loading up this game when I was playing with these, you know what I mean? So that was almost like, say if you're that person that just strives for highs and treble and stuff like that, in those situations, you get it right here, but it wasn't natural, it wasn't pure, it was occasional. And me personally, I don't like occasional. I like my sound to be across the board, what I want, when I need it, across the board, not just in certain occasions. That's what I had right here. It was kind of weird. Now, let me get to these King Wonders, right? Usually I would say, well, if you put these together, you get this. No, you don't even get that. This is like a whole different IEM itself. And the sound you got from these is crisp, detailed, punchy, exciting. It really was. When I put these in, I wanted to keep them in. I got what I wanted when I was playing a story game with the dialogue. I got what I wanted as far as detail whenever I was playing a first-person shooter. I got that full sound. I got that immersive sound. I got that detailed sound. I got the environmental sound. It was awesome. And that kind of rolls me right back to the beginning of this video when I was talking about, well, what is IEMing, right? Let's talk about IEMing. And when you talk about that, is that a cost thing here? I don't know. I can tell you the higher end or mid-range, I'm not even going to the $1,000 Odysseys yet. Those will be covered this week as well, right? But in this class right here, yeah, the more expensive ones, which aren't deal-breaking. I mean, they're like, I think $180. I think they're on sale for $150. That's a stinking deal. That is a deal for these right here. You know what I mean? You're talking these around 100. I'd say, yo, save up $50 and get these because your experience out of the box, in your hand, in your ear, is going to be so much better. And that's IEMing as a whole, I think, because, yeah, there's cheap ones. There's $20 ones I'm actually testing in my room, you know what I mean? And you take that price into account of the build, of course, I get it. But should you take that price into account with sound? You know, I say no, because sound is the core of what you're buying. Do you have a good sound? Do you have a passable sound? Do you have a bad sound? Do you have an acceptable sound? Right? Sure, the lower price is great, but what are you getting out of that? And that's going to depend on you. You may absolutely love the sound of something. I may hate the sound of that same thing. You know what I mean? So again, I can just talk about my experiences here, and hopefully you can dig them apart and kind of catch my vibe about IEMs right here. And that's my results I had with the Simgots, which really brought that to life. Like, I've been testing so many, I've been thinking about it. I'm like, this is so weird. Because again, it's not just Simgot. It's all of them, and you'll catch what I'm talking about when I cover the Odyssey. So make sure to subscribe, hit that bell, and tune in for that video because you'll really catch my vibe of this conversation with that right there. You know what I mean? So again, this is really interesting and exciting, testing a line of the same brand and kind of really being able to reiterate that and put that out there a little easier to understand. So again, all in all, my experience, hands down, I recommend the King Wonders. What are they again? The EN1000s. These guys, I just can't recommend. I tried so much and they were just like, what am I trying to do here? So anyways, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this conversation / review of some Simgot earbuds and IEMing. What a confusing topic. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation. Give me some feedback down in the comments, guys, because again, I want this to be a conversation. But again, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope I helped you out. If I did, hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye now.